Did you know that on average it costs just under $500,000 per child to send them to school from K1 to Year 12? And in Singapore, to send them to an international school from K1 to Year 12 is just under $700,000. Now, this is assuming some fairly base levels of inflation, but these are scary numbers for any parents or anyone thinking of starting a family. So in this video, I'm going to share with you some simple tips for how you can prepare for these education costs and hopefully ease some of the burden of the costs of having a child. So let's dive in. Hi, I'm Jarrad Brown, Australian expat financial planner based here in Singapore. Thanks for tuning into my video today. As I said, I want to share with you some simple tips for what you can do to prepare for these upcoming education costs. So let's get started. My first tip for you is to create an investment account that family members can contribute to. So this might be yourselves as the parents, it might be the grandparents, the uncles, the aunties, those that might otherwise give cash for Christmas. Instead, they can put a bit of money into this investment account, know that it's going to be hopefully growing over time rather than just sitting in the bank. Now here you're going to want to make sure that the brokerage or transaction costs are as low as possible, as are the account keeping fees, because if there are small amounts of money getting contributed on an ad hoc basis, naturally these costs can add up fairly quickly. So do your homework here, but a great option for everyone to contribute and make a meaningful impact on the education costs for your little one. The second thing to consider is to make sure that the cash is not simply sitting in the bank. While interest rates are rising, yes, we can earn a bit more on our cash in the bank today. However, over time, it's very likely that that will underperform a diversified portfolio of growth assets. So review your options, make sure you seek professional advice, but most importantly, make sure that that money is working for you, because the private schools are going to continue to increase their fees year on year. So your money needs to be working for you, particularly if it's destined for those international school fees. The third tip for you is to consider any tax benefits that you might be eligible for. So here I'm referring to the actual holding structure of the education portfolio or the education fund that you actually set up. You might want to look at vehicles like superannuation if it's accessible, like an insurance bond, holding the investments in the name of the low income or the non-working spouse. You've got plenty of options to consider here, depending on your tax residency. Again, important to seek some advice here. Make sure you're selecting the right option for you. But if you can avoid or minimize the amount of tax that you need to pay, naturally that's putting more money in your pocket and means that you've got a bit more to put towards those school fees over time. My final tip for you is to simply plan ahead. Start planning for these education costs as early as you can. If you're thinking you might have children in the future, start saving for these school fees today. If there are kids already on the way, or if the kids are already alive and well, even if they're already at primary school or kindy, whatever it may be, start planning for those secondary school costs. If you're thinking you'd like to cover the university or college costs, or even support your child or children with those expenses, start planning today. Start putting in place the investment structures, making sure that you're considering any tax implications you need to, taking advantage of tax benefits where you can, and make sure that your money is working for you. Thank you very much for tuning in. Please remember to subscribe if you have any questions at all. Drop me a note, and I look forward to seeing you next time.